Hi friends, this is Atul with Sai. So today I will show you how we can train our private AI chatbot model. Okay, so we need to train our private AI chatbot. For that we need to insert some keywords, some similar questions and that context word. And so now I'm going to show you one things, like I need to train my AI model to get the recent or last transaction record from the database. So now first of all I will fetch the all bot related tables data. So TBL bot action. Okay, so you can see we have these total 9 actions. So now we need to train our model to fetch the last or recent transaction. Okay, so for that we have one table, select star from TBL underscore payment transaction. Okay, so here we can get all the records. Okay, so let me verify that table first. Okay, select star from sys.objects name like transaction. Okay, so we have TBL payment transaction. Payment transactions. Okay, now you can see we have this total 20 records in our payment transaction. Okay, so for example okay, so we need to get the latest or recent record for based on that flat ID. Okay, so where f id equal to 40 and order by one descending in the sense it's reordering by the this id column, this primary column. Okay, select star from payment transaction. Let me check one more time. It's a FID or flat ID? Okay, sorry, my bad. It's a flat ID actually. Flat ID. Okay, so now you can see here this is the last or recent transaction or 1850. Okay, so for this we need to add the top clause, top 1 star. Okay, so you can see we are able to get the latest record. Okay, so from this we need only the amount. Okay, amount and payment date. So for that I'm going to concatenate 2 columns here, because I'm going to add this action type as a scalar, as a single value. So for that I'm concatenating these columns, these both 2 columns. Okay, so first column is amount and second column is payment date. So for this I am including I am just adding here one more space here. Okay, now you can see our transaction is look like this. From last recent. Okay, I think there is some problem in this script. Let me rewrite this script one more time, because last time it's showing 1800 something, now it's showing 7,000 765. top 1 star. Okay, so 185 and order by 1, so it's ordering by this concatenate function. Okay, so let me rewrite this script. Okay, select top 1 amount, order by payment date. Okay, now I'm going to use this. Okay, so now you can see we are able to exact the last recent amount. So we need format this as well, format payment date, and here you can use dd and YYY. Incorrect syntax near from. Okay, so now you can see the last recent transaction was 25th 2026. Okay, so in between this I'm going to add one dash here. Okay. Okay, so now from the front end we don't have direct the flat ID. Okay, so for that we need to join this table. Okay, with tbl underscore flat f on f dot fid equal to p dot flat id. Sorry, join flat id where login id equal to 117. Okay, so results is same. So now I'm going to add this intent action into the intent action table user. So let me verify that parameter name first. So you can see we have that @user id parameter. So for same we need to add here user id. So now you can see we have this script ready. Okay, so we need to insert this script into the bot action table. So for that, insert into this tbl bot action type and SQL query. Okay, so action id is a primary key, and I have said that identity increment by 1. So then we don't require this identity column. Okay, so we require only these 2 columns. So values, the action type is scalar because we are returning the single value or single column. Okay, so that's reason I'm going to use this scalar. Now here we need to add this select statement. Okay, bracket close. So for this we need add the single quote here, single quote here, single quote here, then we need to add single quote here, here as well, and here also. Okay, so now I'm going to insert this. Okay, so currently I have selected my online production database. Now I'm going to executing the non-prod as well. Now I need to verify this is working or not. So for that I am declaring one variable SQL and varchar max. Then we are selecting select @SQL equal to SQL query from TBL underscore bot action, where action ID equal to 10, exec underscore execute execute SQL @SQL. Okay, exec. Okay, so let me execute this statement. Oh, sorry, my bad. I need to replace one more thing here. Replace comma @user ID to 117. Okay, then let me try one more time. Okay, so now you can see we are able to fetch the last recent transaction and the date. Okay, so this part was completed. So the next one is we need to add the intent action. Okay, so the next table is for that we have select star from TBL bot intent action. So here we need to add the intent action ID. So here now I'm just okay, so we have action ID is 10. So here we need to insert record, insert into TBL intent bot action and the bracket. So intent ID is identity column for this table, so we required only one table. Okay, so action ID and the values. So value is 10. Okay, so one row affected. Now here also I'm going to insert this in my lower environment. Okay, so this is done. So now we have the intent ID 10, action ID 10. Okay, so the next table is select star from TBL bot intent context word. Okay, so in this table we bot intent context. Okay, so in this table we already added some similar questions that entered by the user. So we are just predict here, like user is typing asking these questions to our chatbot. So that's the reason we have added the inbuilt some few questions for in this table. Okay, so like this we need to add some similar question for that last recent transaction. We need to add those questions. Okay, so I think I already okay, so you can see I already added some few questions here. Now we need to generate the insert script. Now I'm copying this formula from here. Okay, now I'm going to paste that in the B section. Okay, so the table name is same. Control Z. Okay, let me copy this in the run window, and from the run window I'm going to paste here. Now I'm going to paste here. So now you can see we have the table. Okay, so we need to replace the table name here. Okay, so our table name is bot intent context. So now I am changing this table keyword to bot context, intent context. Okay, so we have intent ID and context word. Okay, intent ID and context word. Okay, so in our case the intent ID is 10. Okay, so now you can see our insert statement is generated. Now I am just dragging this. Okay, so now I am going to execute this insert statement here in this context table. So now you can see 10 row is affected. Now same thing I am going to execute in the lower environment. Okay, so the next one is we need to we have one more table for select star from tbl underscore bot intent keyword. Okay, keywords, I think keywords. Okay, so you can see we already added some keywords in this table. So for that last recent transaction we need to add few details, few data into this table. So like this way we can train our AI model, chatbot AI model. Okay, so now you can see, okay, we need to change the intent ID. Okay, intent ID is changed. Now I am going to copy these things. Now I am going to execute this in my prod environment and same is in non-prod environment. Okay, so this is also done, and we have one more select star from tbl underscore bot intent master. Okay, so we have this 9 intent ID with the intent code. So this is core logic part of our chatbot AI. So now we need to add one more entry in this section. Okay, so now I'm going to insert one record, insert into bot intent master, and column name is intent ID comma intent code, and is active and intent priority is optional columns. Okay, so that we can avoid. So I'm going to insert the values. So our intent code is 10 and intent ID is 10 and intent code is like get last transaction. Okay, get last transaction. Intent. Okay, intent code, sorry, my bad. Intent cannot explicit identity column. Oh sorry, identity column is a intent ID is a identity column, so we require only one column. Okay, so same thing I'm going to execute in lower environment. Okay, so the next column is select star from tbl underscore bot response template. Okay, so I'm just copying this same template and I'm inserting a new record. Insert into tbl underscore bot response. The identity intent ID is identity column. Okay, so we require only one column here, template. Okay, values Okay, so your last recent transaction is, and this template name, the value. Okay, invalid object name, oh sorry. Okay, now I'm going to execute this. Now I'm copying this, and same thing I'm execute here in lower environment. Okay, so guys, you can see we train our model for a last recent transaction. So how to fetch that last recent transaction? So we have trained our AI model. So here you can see we have already deployed our API. So this API is developed in ASP.NET Core Web API 9.0. So you can see we have this get method, my chatbot get method. Okay, so now I am going to show you this, so how this works. So you can see we are not doing any code changes. So we did only our database level changes, like we are inserting the more records, okay, for fetching the last transaction. So like this we are trained our chatbot AI model. Okay, so now here you can see we already have this My Society 7 app here. Okay, so I'm just re-logging this app. Okay, sorry, actually I got disconnected from meeting. I'm reconnecting again. Okay, I'm joining again from the mobile, and I'm sharing my mobile screen, so you can easily understand that things, how we can train our chatbot private AI model. Okay, so now I'm sharing my screen. My mobile screen is visible. Now I'm going to open My Society 7 app. Okay, so now I am entering Shivam's credentials. So now this is checking that Shivam is available or not in the database. Based on that, this API is created that JWT token, and based on that JWT token will allow user to access the APIs. Okay, so now you can see here we have My Society 7 bot option. So you need to click on that menu. So now I am going to ask few questions line by line. Okay, so like how many guests visited? My Society 7 is thinking. So you can see you have received 4 guest visit in this month. Okay, so now it's working fine. The next one is last visit guest. Okay, so last visit guest. So guys, this is the totally dynamic. So we are not doing any hard coded things. Okay, so these things are working like dynamically. So now you can see here are your visitor details. That guest ID, guest name is Atul. So the next one is how we can connect with society help desk. My Society 7 bot is thinking. So you can see it will respond the details. The next one is my total transaction. Okay, so you can see your total number of transaction is 13,202. Okay, so now I am going to ask last payment. Okay, so last recent payment. Okay, so you can see your last recent transaction is 1815 rupees on 25th Feb. So guys, you can see we are not doing any hard coded things. Okay, so this is all each end to end, it's a dynamically. So only one time setup, your code setup is one time, and then in future you need to train your AI model, AI chatbot model like this. So I already shown you, I already explained you in this video. Okay, so guys, thank you for watching this video. If you found helpful, so please do share, subscribe and like this video. So thank you for watching this video.